Hello, I am Jake. For another video, it's a cloudy Thursday afternoon. I filming on Thursday, and this video is talking about why I love Huawei's and what is or the first time I am interested in Huawei's in general. I born and lived in Pamela much of my childhood, and if you know about Pamela and the Bigger Valley, we not got any Huawei lines at all, and somewhat of a difficult point. But why I uh into Huawei's and enjoy trains so much because uh uh because see my older video about having hemophilia A. Every 6 months I have to go to during my childhood I have to go to the World Children's Hospital in Melbourne for check up for my hemophilia A and other medical problems. And my family usually cuts the V line coast and the train. Um, I remember for the first time on the train, I hop on the bus from Pamela to Sayo first, and then go to the old name of Southern Coast Railway Station, Spencer Street Railway Station, um, to Melbourne. Why really interesting point. On first off, I cast the V line bus and a train service to Melbourne. First off, the train starts at Sayo Railway Station and then heads west to Melbourne on the Gippsland, the main Gippsland railway line, but however it was called the old bus railway line. However, it's cut off number of years ago. I think in the 1980s, I see the old films of the old bus trains going to old bus, the timber trains. However, can't be sidetracked. Um, I catching the V line train um, to Melbourne, and I usually enjoy the meal on the train, like the whole hot chicken meal with a coke, and the seating on the V line locomotive haul trains alike because it is really comfortable seating, and I usually my family choose a economical seats, and the seats are looking people looking at each other, unlike the seats not looking at the people. Time beat wandering off, but um, up to 2004, the train step before the train stops at Sayo Railway Station. But after 2004, luckily, the Steve Black's cabinet decided to reopen the train line from Sayo to Bairnsdale. And after 2004, we cast the V line bus and train every 6 months, usually, to Melbourne. And after I think the name of Sponsorship Railway Station changed the name, I think just before the Commonwealth Games in Melbourne. I don't quote me that, but I think the name changed on before or at the time of the Commonwealth Games, the 2006 Commonwealth Games in Melbourne. But I cast the bus and a train to Melbourne, and I extremely enjoyed the train trip to Melbourne on the Gippsland Railway Line. When the train line reopened from Sale to Bairnsdale, um, I really interesting with the chopping on the Stratford Bridge. Um, it's a timber bridge just um, the Melbourne side of Stratford, heading towards Melbourne, of course, and it's a timber bridge. And I remember, I don't quote me that. I remember that the train have to slow down to 15 kilometers per hour, and I feel um why reopening a railway line and still got a timber bridge on the part of the line itself, and I wonder it. But luckily now, under the Daniel Andrews government, they're replacing the Stratford Bridge to become I think a concrete bridge for trains, and doing shopping on the Gippsland Railway Line a lot. But when I left high school and 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 all that, I traveling up to Sydney, and I think my 21st birthday or 22nd birthday. I am 34 years old now, but I my mom and my sister and me travel up to Sydney on the Canberra Railway Line and cast the New South Wales train link, and it's really fun and really enjoyable because got something new, and the I of course the bus service leaves Eden at 7 a.m. every day, 7 days a week. I mean, yeah, and we catch it at 7:19 a.m. at Pamela and have a meal break at Nineveh. For this trip, um, I I travel up to Canberra and then change from the bus to the train, and that trip actually the bus driver hit the bus stop sign and break the glass, and we have to change buses on the way, get a Kumaramanao bus, and then actually we went to Queensland Railway Station, not Canberra, but normally the New South Wales training service, bus service goes to the Canberra Railway Station. However, on this trip, the bus driver break the glass and have to, of course, legally have to change the buses. And on the train itself, I I um I think I had a social wall and a Coke, a can of Coca-Cola, and the starving is so nice and good and so hopeful, and it's a new scene for me. And see the Golden Railway Station with three platforms and see the Southern Highlands. Southern Highlands is a great place to visit. When you leave when the government leave the non-essential travel restrictions, you must go to the Southern Highlands of New South Wales. But back to the story. We went to the train arrived into Central Railway Station after 4 o'clock, and Central Railway Station, the Grand Crossroads is so beautiful and it is open air, and seeing the introduction board above the um, capital service decks and is really interested with me, and see the light rail to Dance Hill. That is, yeah, one of the first trips to Sydney and travel on the Canberra Railway line. The other trip to um, the other trip is going to Wollongong Railway Station. If I'm known for my other video, I study at the University of Wollongong at the bigger campus. But when I before studying at the University of Wollongong, the bigger campus, I went to the University of Wollongong. I think open day, and we traveling on the bus from Pamela to Bongadaily Railway Station, the Pamela Motors Coast Service. And for this trip, had a meal break at British Bay on the way to Bongadaily Railway Station. But at Bongadaily Railway Station, on the Opal ticketing system, if you know, if you wanting to know that, on the Opal ticketing system, and the Bongadaily Railway Station is is functional, but it's not really beautiful station like Goulburn or like Wollongong or like Central, something like that. Um, Finney Street Railway Station is a beautiful railway station, but on that trip, one of the first times, I think the first time on the train on the South Coast Railway line, I thought extremely beautiful when traveling from Bongadaily to Bailey Railway Station, and then to Jangong, between Jangong to Kaima, go through the tunnels, and the train track is actually next to the Pacific Ocean, and the line hugs the coast right up to Kiama. From pretty much from Jangong to Kiama, the train tracks hugs the coast. And also at that time, I think that trip I went to the open day, And then after the open day at the University of Wollongong, I think I hop on the train from Wollongong railway station. Wollongong railway station is also pretty beautiful as well. Um, Travel up to Harrisburg railway station on the South Coast Railway Line. The South Coast Railway Line from Wollongong, from Kiama to Wollongong or North Wollongong, pretty much is traveling in suburbs, the Wollongong suburbs, from North Wollongong to right up to Waterfall. Pretty much the railway line hugs the coast again and see the Eroy escarpment or the Great Divide Range and the Pacific Ocean and I feel extremely relaxed and so beautiful and see the beaches on the what they call it, not really suburbs. Above who is not really called suburbs, is more like little towns on the way to Sydney. See the townships or something and see the beaches and all that. And then I went to Harrisburg railway station. That is not the original railway station. I hop off the train and then I traveling to the the historic railway station and the tunnel. Um, and I took a picture of the Harrisburg Railway Station sign, the historic Harrisburg Railway sign, and go through the tunnel. It's extremely wet in the tunnel and dripping rain, dripping water off the roof of the tunnel and next to the original Harrisburg railway station on the ground got I think replicant trucks and I took pictures of it. And that is the trip to Wollongong. Turn bit all over the place on this video because I not got a script while I from Melbourne to Wollongong. But the other trip is I travel up to Steamfast on the Newcastle and the Central Coast Railway Line. Sadly, the part of the branch line, the Newcastle branch line from Wickham Railway Station to Newcastle Railway Station is closed, I think, on Boxing Day at 2014, and it's sadly the government whipped up the line, and I never see trains what to the Newcastle CBD. But now, somewhat of a compromise decision that put a light wire through to Newcastle CBD. That is the backstory. Um, I I think I hop on the train from Canberra to Sydney last year, and then I hop on the train from Central Railway Station and to Newcastle Interchange Railway Station, the site just west of the old Wickham Railway Station, and I hop on the Newcastle Light Rail line to the YHA to stay over the weekend. And I took the light rail from is, yeah, I went to Steamfest on Saturday and I hop on the, I think I wake up at 6 a.m. or something. Sorry. And I hop on the light rail and then I hop on the Hunter trains from Newcastle Interchange to Maitland and I hop on see the Steamfest Wildlife Festival in Maitland sadly canceled this year because for the coronavirus. But last year I walking around Maitland and see the stores and see the um, tourist worldwide organizations and all that and see ARTC, the Worldwide Maintenance Corporation, and see. Did you know that the Hunter Valley, the core network in the Hunter Valley is the biggest worldwide network in Australia apart from the Sydney suburban and the Melbourne suburban network, with all the coal trains traveling from the mines to the Newcastle ports. I know that from the people from the ARTC um, corporation, I think they call it. And also I took a steam train from don't know the class number and can't remember the actual steam engine itself. I took a steam train from Maitland Railway Station as on I think 11 a.m. Can't remember the time of it. I think in late morning from Newcastle, from Maitland Railway Station to Newcastle Interchange. That is last year. That is the first steam train traveling on the line to Newcastle Interchange Railway Station. I think, yeah, let's say it. I hopping last year. Um, and I took the steam train from Maitland said before and traveling on the main northern line and the steam train detailed to the part of the Newcastle coal terminal to the coal trains to unload the coal trains and I found it quite interesting and then the steam train reverses back and traveling on the main northern line and then at, from Maitland to Newcastle interchange that is on the Newcastle branch line and I had lunch at Wickham and have pizza but and then go back to Newcastle back to Maitland for the Steam Fest in the afternoon. Why I love railways because I got a lot of train train trips and in the future wanting to film trains. Mostly I go then maybe at Mosville or Milgong or something like that. Maybe Wagga Wagga. I had planned for a trip to Wagga Wagga and a trip to Maitland for the Steam Fest. But with the coronavirus, um, for Steam Fest cancel it and for Wagga Wagga I postponed the trip. Luckily not book the trip yet. But in the future, but I need equipment first. And please comment down and like this video. Please comment about your favorite worldwide line. My video is quite warming, rumble a lot. I not got a script and sorry with the noise background. My dad building a house and is nearly finished. Thank you. I am Jake and see you the next video. See you.